Hello and welcome back to the channel. I wanted to make a quick video talking about how we can use turn player priority to beat Droll and Lockbird in Power Patron Artmage when we haven't opened Medius the Pure. Hard opening Medius beats Droll, as we know. If you've seen the video showing what Medius can do, there's two videos on my channel actually showing what Medius can do in this format, and one is a literal FTK, the other is an FTK in all but name, and we beat Droll in the process. We won't always open Medius though, right? So how else do we beat Droll? You might look at this scenario and think, well, it's quite obvious. We pitch a blank spell, we pitch the Nervedo to make non finito, activate the trigger effect of non finito, getting ourselves a copy of Recapture. There we go. We've beat Droll. Easy peasy. But what you've also done is beat any hope you had of playing the game, because from here we special summon the Fin Mill, draw one card, and you're basically putting it on God at this point. You know, please draw me into a way to play the game. And we've drawn into Ojama Delta Hurricane, and we're absolutely wounded. We're thinking, why is this even in our deck? This represents a blank spell that in isolation doesn't let us play the game, of course. So from here, our opponent could troll us. They might think, right, I don't want to deal with that counter trap on my turn, and I've got no other windows to use Droll, let's face it. So they think, right, I'm just going to activate Droll. We respond by activating Recapture, because we beat Droll, don't you know? We banish the non-finito, except from here, we're not left with any way to play the game. And so the issue with starting with non-finito is that very often, if you start with non-finito, you're kind of having to pick between beating Droll or giving yourself a way to play the game, because you can use this to get a starter, right? It doesn't have to be for the counter trap. But there is another way we can sequence this, where we still beat Droll and give ourselves a way to play the game. So it's the exact same hand, except this time we're going to do things a little bit differently. We'll put Nervedo into the pendulum zone. We'll normal summon the owl, activate Fin Mill, which will hit the field, draw one card, yes. Now, on resolution, the way Yu-Gi-Oh works is that the turn player always has the priority and can use that to activate a quick effect before your opponent can activate anything on resolution. So as this resolves, as Fin Mill resolves, your opponent will ask anything on res. Or they should ask anything on res. If they try to slap down Droll and Lockbird really quickly, you can say, no, no, no. You know, I'm using my turn player priority to activate a quick effect. Obviously, don't leave it too long if you're playing a real game. Don't make them think you had nothing on res. So what happens is, Fin Mill resolves, and you say, on resolution, I will use my turn player priority to activate Artmage Power Patron. So we activate Artmage Power Patron. Notice they didn't even get the opportunity, any kind of prompt to activate Droll. So now they can activate Droll, except if they don't understand what's happening here, if they activate Droll in this moment, they are absolutely cooked, because even though they were activating Droll in resolution to Fin Mill, they were activating Droll at the resolution of a card being added from the main deck to the hand. Because of how we sequence things, they're actually activating Droll in response to an Artmage monster, which means our Nervedo is live if they want to Droll us in this specific window. Now if they do, we will negate the Droll, Nervedo goes to the extra deck, we get to special summon a Power Patron monster from our deck, and yeah, they lose pretty hard if they Droll in this window. Let's imagine instead that they're a bit more clued up on how this interaction would work, and they instead say, no, I'm not going to Droll here. They've sequenced this pretty nicely, actually, and I can't Droll in this moment. The owl resolves, making our non-finito. And then we're going to activate triggers. So the way we activate these triggers depends on what we want to beat. In this particular moment, let's just assume we're scared of Fedralis, right? We're against a Fedralis deck, and that's what we're more afraid of. Non-finito 1, the owl 2. If you're worried about Ash, you'd reverse that, right? We can't beat everything, you have to kind of pick what you want to beat. And so the owl as chain link 2, add a copy of the field spell to hand. Non-finito, chain link 1, we'll set a copy of Recapture. And now, once again, our opponent has the opportunity to try and hit us with Droll. We won't be able to activate Nervedo in this instance if they do want to Droll us. And I think a lot of players in this moment probably will try and activate the Droll, just because they won't want to deal with the counter trap on their turn. So, activate Droll. We respond with our counter trap, banishing the non-finito in order to destroy Droll. Except this time round, exact same starting cards. We've been left with a way to play the game, because we can activate the field spell, pitch in a blank spell, get a copy of Graveler, special summon Graveler. As he hits the board, we will set an Artmage spell. We go for the Assault. We can activate Assault, add a Medius, and obviously, because of the field spell, we get an additional normal summon Medius. I won't go from here with the full combo, because everybody understands at this point that the combos take forever, basically. But I wanted to show you how, without opening Medius, if we understand the what some people call technical play element of Yu-Gi-Oh, we understand turn player priority, we can sequence things in such a way where we can beat Droll and still go full combo. Because in the first example I showed you, if you start with non-finito in that example, you're basically having to pick between using non-finito as a way to play the game or as a way to insulate your plays. Whereas in this particular example, by utilizing turn player priority, we've sequenced things just a bit differently, but we've insulated our plays and given ourselves a way to play the game simultaneously. Now, this is a tech which, it's a little bit niche, it's not going to come up all the time, but it will come up. This will absolutely come up, and I think it's something which you can familiarize yourself with. It works with other combinations of cards as well. If we would have opened the Graveler instead of the Finmill, obviously we'd special summon the Graveler, set the Assault, activate Assault to search Medius. On resolution of searching Medius, we would trigger the Owl, and then it's the same scenario again, right? Even though they're drawing on resolution of Medius being added to hand, when you sequence it in such a way, they are still activating Droll in response to the Artmage Power Patron, which makes our Nervedo live. So play around with it, familiarize yourself with it. It won't come up every game, but it will certainly come up often enough for you to be glad you watched this video. Anyway, consider dropping a like or a comment, and yeah, hope to see you in the next one.